I was introduced to electronic music unexpectedly at the Bonnaroo Music Festival in Tennessee. I was so unaware of a whole genre of music that existed, but after that experience, I knew what it was like to stand in a crowd of over 70,000 people with the sun rising and bass blaring. After that, I was hooked. I've been to over 30 shows since then, and now I want to know, what keeps other people coming back to the music?
My name is Kelsey, and I've been a part of the electronic music scene for 2 years or so. My first show was Fantagram. I saw them at the Governor's Ball Music Festival 2 years ago. It was just a beautiful experience on top of a beautiful day with, a huge crowd of people all there for the same thing. I think it was definitely the music. A lot of it was like seeing cool artists that I really liked, playing live. My favorite thing that's ever happened at a show was probably seeing Gold Panda, because they played an awesome show, but they didn't play this one song that I really wanted them to play. And it got towards the end, and they went off, and then everyone was cheering oh, one more song. And then he comes back on, and then he just drops this song called You, and it was just a really cool experience, and everyone was so excited that he did that. And seeing your favorite song live. To maybe about 20 shows. You gotta get an outfit, transportation, you gotta eat that day while you're on your way. The tickets, you got hotels potentially, and then you have the drugs. Drugs are probably the most money. But I also pay for the experience. It's just an amazing time when you're there with all these other people that feel the same thing, and everyone's dancing and going insane and singing to the music and feeling it.
My name is Ariel. I have been a part of the electronic music scene for a year, I guess since about February 2013, around when I started hooping. My first show was a DJ called Feed Me at Webster Hall. It was right after I had gone through this whole messy breakup, and I was feeling kind of depressed, and I really just wanted to go out and have some fun. I got my first candy at that show. Candy are these little plastic bead bracelets that people will usually trade with each other. You can make other things out of candy, not just bracelets. You can make cuffs or masks sometimes people make, or even bikini tops I've seen people wear made out of candy. When people trade candy, they use the PLUR handshake. PLUR stands for Peace, Love, Unity, Respect. Most people who go to raves are really nice and respectful, and everyone's just really happy to be there. People aren't going there to get into fights, or usually not to try to hook up with girls. It's more about the music and having a good time, feeling love. Every time I go to a show, there's always people there who will be complimenting what I'm wearing. I have no idea how many shows I've been to so far. I've been to so many. It's so much fun dressing up for these raves and events, festivals, whatever show you go to. It's so much fun to be creative and come up with outfits or candy.
I'm Liam. I started going to raves when I went to Bisco 2 years ago. I had a bunch of friends that were going. They were all deep into the EDM scene at that point, and they were you gotta come do drugs, get fucked up with us, and see all the good shows. Give me all the drugs you got. I did everything I could on Saturday. Get my hands on. There were shrooms lying around, I ate those. There was some acid lying around, I ate that. Molly, Coke, everything. It was great. And it was one of the best experiences of my life, and I was hooked ever since. If there's one time that keeps bringing me back, it's just the general, everybody's so, like, everybody's high, everybody's so uninhibited, everybody's loving everyone, you're out, you're sweating balls and hugging random people, and it's just the best. My best experience was seeing Bass Nectar at Bisco this last year. It was just like 35,000 person crowd, best Molly I've had in my life, and I was just beaming joy from my soul everywhere I went. I'll either spend my money on these shows because there'll be some cheap one coming up and I have a bunch of friends going and I just want to get fucked up and have a great time. But then there'll be other times and I'll decide that I want to spend a lot of money on if say Bass Nectar's coming around, say Big Gigantic, some group that I'm like just dying to see. Won't do as many drugs necessarily, and I'll just go and just fucking lose myself in the music. Plur is something that I kind of heard about and got into with my Bisco friends when I went this past year, and I was all into it because you're like trading candy and it's all loving and there's so many good aspects about it. But then it kind of blew up and it got all bastardized and everyone's all plurnt and perfect and fucking all whatnot, and it's a cool idea. I like it, but it's bastardized. What hooks me onto the music is just like the massive like variety of music that you get in EDM. Like there's just influences of metal, you'll get influences of jazz, of hip hop, of everything, and it's just little shows and you'll catch it and it's just like the heaviest bass of your life and you'll just drop and fucking, it's like a whole nother drug just like tingling your body. But then sometimes you just get some of the most like groovy, whole new genres coming out and it's just beautiful.
Right now is the best moment you ever known. Everything is perfect.